Hey everyone, welcome to the Captain Drone YouTube channel. My name is Steve, and today Emax is launching a very cool little tiny whoop. And it's actually a race whoop. Yep, a race whoop. It's called the Tinyhawk Nanoscout, and it comes in this case, and everything you need to fly is in here. So I, Captain Drone, know very little about this drone because I just received it, so I'm gonna go off what Emax has told me about it. I have not even flown this. I just took it out of the case, charged up the batteries, and I'm ready to fly. So I made a little cheat sheet based on the points Emax told me about this little drone. So this tiny whoop, they said they made it super durable. So if you're a beginner, they say you probably can't destroy it. Although this antenna at the back is ridiculous. It is super long to give you a long range, and it does shoot out at 400 milliwatts. That's quite a bit, but it sticks away out and you're just gonna smash the heck out of that thing. You might want to tape it to the top or something. The kit does come with two batteries. They are 1S batteries and the capacity is 320 milliamp hours. That's the good news, two batteries. Here's the bad news. The bad news is that they changed the plug on top. So if you have some old Emax batteries, they won't work in this quad. You'll have to change the plug on those batteries. So they call this connector an EM 2.0 connector, and it's supposed to improve efficiency, current flow, so that you get a much better experience with the quad. They'll be going forward with these type of batteries in future. In the kit, you get this little bag of connectors, battery connectors. So if you have different types of one cell batteries, you can solder these connectors on and they will work then with this quad. And one more thing to mention about the batteries is that they tell me they will be available on the date this is released. So I guess you're watching this video on the date it's released, so these batteries are available. The good thing is that they do include a battery charger. You can charge up to 6 batteries at once, and it is designed for this new type of battery. So you plug your battery into the charger, and the charger has a USB plug in the end, so you just plug it into a power source, if I get it right, and it should light up nice and green and charge up the batteries. If the lights are solid green on the charger, then it's charging. If they're just flashing, it means charging is done. But enough about the battery, back to the Nanoscout. So it is a true whoop. It's a 65mm wheelbase. This thing weighs next to nothing. It's under 250 grams, even with the battery. You have a RunCam camera up top, and it is one of those cameras that you cannot destroy. I've seen these cameras in the past. You cannot destroy them. So you can crash all you want, you won't destroy it. The tiny little brushless motors on here are 22,000 kV motors, and they are dual bearing motors, I'm told. I'm also told the flight controller is an F4 modern flight controller with a 6 amp ESC for the motors. Now, to give this little guy lots of thrust on a 1S battery and in this configuration, they actually made new props. So these are new props on the market, and they're Avia Nanoscout props, and you do get extras in the box. And finally, it's a very modern transmission system. It's ELRS, and let me tell you about this radio that comes with it. This is the E8 radio. It's in lots of their kits. It's very good. You can hook it up to a flight sim, and I'll tell you right now, if you hook it up to a flight sim, because there's so many confused people out there, you power this on first, then you plug in your USB, and then you do your flight sim, whatever flight sim you like, you know, because it's going to act as an external USB controller. So you can see me here using it in a flight sim. I'm flying through the forest, which is super difficult, and I'm not having any difficulty because the joysticks on this little E8 are actually really good. So, you know, thumbs up to this controller. And also, they have labeled every switch on here. So if you're a newbie and you don't know what the switches do, they're all labeled. For FPV goggles, you get the Transporter 2 goggles. These have been around for a while. They're really good because of the following. If you're like me and you wear glasses, you can't fit them over your glasses. And if you take your glasses off, you can adjust the focus, but it's really limited. It doesn't work for people like me. I have a +2 prescription, so this does not work for that. So I don't know if it works for people with -2 prescriptions. Anyways, don't worry about it, because if you get these goggles, you do this. You pull off the front like that. The whole front section comes off. This is your display. And as you can see, this display connects right onto your controller. So that's how I'm going to try to fly this here today. There we go. So that's how I will try flying this. You see, it's quite usable. It's like flying a DJI drone. You just stare at the monitor and fly away. Now, the cool thing about this Transporter 2 is that you can put a micro SD card in the side. And if you do that, then you can record your flight and play back the flight on this display. The other good thing is that, say you get your yourself some FPV goggles that work for your eyesight, or you have some at home already, well then you could fly with the goggles on and you can hand this monitor to someone else or let them put it in the goggles and they can watch your flight as well. Because when you're flying analog, you could have a million people on the same viewing frequency of the frequency you're sending out from your analog signal, and all of them can be watching at the same time. And as I look around my table to see if I missed anything, to charge up everything that came in the kit, you do get 2 USB cables. To do that, I'm just throwing stuff off my table. You get a tool set to change out certain components if you wish. And you probably get a few other odds and ends that I'm showing you really quickly on the screen right now. I don't have to do an unboxing now because I just did it. So now I'm gonna fly this baby, and I'm gonna fly it the first time around the house just using this, and I'll fly it nice and slow. Then I'll try it with the FPV goggles on. Now it's pouring rain outside at the moment. If the rain stops, I'm gonna take it outside as well. Okay, let's get this baby going. First thing you do is power on the remote. It's on, and then power on your monitor. There's a big M button on the side with a power symbol. Press that. I should see EMAX and then a bunch of snow. There we go, bunch of snow, so we're good to go. Next, take your battery, you slide it in the bottom underneath the elastics with the head of the battery pointing to the rear, and then plug in your cable. As soon as you plug in the cable, the countdown is on to how much power you're using. I have this set at 400 milliwatts, so it's using a lot of power. Nice lights come on. There you can see right there. Might be out of focus, but I'm gonna throw this right here. There we go. Spin this around. Here's what my display sees. So as I move my little FPV drone, everything is good. And then to put the record on, there's an R button on the side. Hit that, just push it in once. I should see a red dot on the top. So now this display is recording. There's a nice little switch up here that says arm and disarm. So I'm gonna put it on arm. The motors are spinning. We're gonna go fly. Here we go. For a guy like me, it's a little bit difficult to fly it looking at a screen. You know, I'm used to using my cell phone. There's some race gates I stuck. Can I go through one? Well, I did it. There's another one. Well, that was too easy. Okay, coming back to me. And I'll go around one more time because this is actually pretty easy to fly now that I got used to it. Let's go through this race gate. There we go. So, I gotta tell you guys, it's super simple to fly. For me, the hard thing was just getting used to staring at this little screen, but it's pretty simple now. And the reception coming back is outstanding. Outstanding reception. You can fly this anywhere. No worries whatsoever. All right, I'm gonna go through this race gate and then I'm gonna turn around and come back. I'll just spin right here. Spin around, spin around. And I'll go over the race gate. Actually, okay, we'll go through it. There we go. And then come back to me and I'll land right in front with a little bit of power because I want to try these with FPV goggles. And where's my disc? Let's test out that durability. It still works. So I'm going to turn off the record. Record stops. I'm just going to unplug this and I'm going to show you how the DVR works because so many people cannot figure out how the DVR works on here. So I've unplugged this guy, which means I have snow on the display. So I'll come over to this little camera. You can see the snow there. On the side, you have a button that says M. Press it once. That gives you your menu. Do you see the menu in the center? There we go, menu. Then over on this side, the opposite side, you have a button that's B. Hit that one. And if I did it correctly, the DVR should start up. And the DVR is what we recorded, our digital video recorder. So it should be on screen. You should see it now. So to play back the video, you press the R button, the same one you press to record, and it should start playing back. So there you go. You can watch your video. It's probably gonna be out of focus in this camera because this camera is not designed for close focus. But there you go. So you can watch your whole flight. All right, so next thing I'm gonna do is same battery. I'm gonna go around with the FPV goggles on. There we go, it's plugged in. I have a nice display. This is all working. I'll find the video signal. There we go, race band 4, so that's what it is. All right, so I should have an image. Then we should be able to fly. I got a beautiful image actually. This is really nice. So, armed, and there we go. Much easier to fly now with FPV goggles on, for me anyways. I can go much faster, so here we go. Going through those things, going this way. Maybe I'm going too fast here. Going through the gates, coming back. Try that a little faster this time. Woohoo, baby! I'm getting a low battery warning. Oops, I was staring at the low battery, not where I was going on the screen. So that means our 4 minutes of flight are gonna be up. So I did my initial flight, which you saw, and this is the second flight. I'm gonna fly it till the battery dies and we'll just see what happens. I will say though, the transmission is pretty good. I'm just going to spin around here in my kitchen and we'll go reverse. Going this way. Oh, my gate's falling down. They're only held up by milk cartons. All right, still going. It says low battery, but I'm still flying and crashing. Oop, can't go into that one now. Come on, we can do it. I gotta get you to 4 minutes. Oh, it's getting wimpier, I think. No, it's still pretty good. Here, let's see if I can go under the table. This is one of those quads you could fly pretty much anywhere. Where am I? This way? Okay, let's go this way. Let's go under this table. Let's go through this gate. Yes! I am winning the race. Oh, wall, wall. It's going to keep saying land now. Let's go in front of me, in front of my face. Whoa, over here in the kitchen. Let's go this way, dining room. Back over this way. Oh, I'm out of power. I'm out of power. That's it. She won't fly anymore. So disarm. And there we go. So that should have been with the first flight and that second flight. Total together should have been about 4 minutes. Now, the other thing to note is that if you set the output, the video output at 400 milliwatts, you will use more power than if you set it at 25 milliwatts. So for flight modes on here, I'll show you a close-up. Over here it says you have beginner mode, which is angle mode. That's what I flew in. Then you have intermediate mode, which is horizon mode. That's more for outdoors. Then you have expert mode, which is acro mode to do flips and rolls. So on the forward section, you have 2 more switches. One is beeper. So if you lose the drone, you flick the beeper on and this thing will beep. The second one is if you land upside down, you click flip over and crash and you can flip it to right side up. So as you can see, it's what we call piss pouring rain here in Canada. The snow is going to be arriving any day now. So I'm going to fly this outside anyways. Let me show you what I did to the quad. So it's a little bit waterproof. No, it's pretty raining out here. So I don't think this will help much, but the electronics are exposed right behind the antenna. So I just put a piece of, well, Scotch tape. Nothing exciting. I got to go for a quick flight out in this rainstorm. Here we go. All right, let's plug this little guy in. Geez, my glasses are already soaking wet. All right. So it's lit up. It's ready to go. I'll just plop it down here on the edge of the Jeep. We're going to record the video on our monitor again, so I'm going to hit the record button. And I'm going to fly this in acro mode wearing my Fat Sharks. Okay, I've got an image, and if you look down at the bottom right hand side, it says air, because I'm in acro mode, so acro air. And you can hear the rain coming down in the cars. Here we go. Go on, past me. There we go, this is acro mode, acro air in the rain. The worst that can happen is this will just fry itself and fall out of the sky. But look at this, it's not bad. Not bad at all. In acro mode, you get a low battery faster because of the power going to the motors, but here, I'm just gonna bring it close and try some simple acro. There we go. It's very slow. You can tell this is designed for beginners to fly because even the acro, it's not very fast. I almost went nosedived into the ground. All right, so I think that's enough for everybody to see. This is basically what you get when you're flying outdoors in the pouring rain. This is it. It's actually doing quite well. So let's bring it back to me. I'm going to try to switch it into angle mode. There we go, angle mode. Okay. The reason I did that is because I'm going to fly it near me really slow and I want to land it. So coming back to me, nice and slow. Try to get out of the rain, try not to hit the top of the garage, try not to hit my head, and put it down there, and there we go. Done. So after that flight, I could say the only thing I noticed flying in acro mode is that since you're putting more power to the motors to have more control of it, all 6-axis, I did get some vibrations in the image, but you know, my brain tuned it out, but I'm sure you could see it in the video. All right, you're back to me. I'm indoors. I've dried myself off. I'm going to remove my piece of Scotch tape. Highly technical, but it actually did the trick. It kept the water out of the circuit board for that flight. So now you're wondering, what are my final thoughts on this Emax Tinyhawk Nanoscout race whoop? Well, first off, it's a race whoop, so it gets 2 thumbs up for that, and it's designed for beginners, so it gets another thumb if I had another arm. The only negatives I have are 2. One is the battery. Yes, they changed the plug design so that it's much more efficient, but that means a lot of people who invested in the Emax ecosystem already, well, then your previous batteries won't work unless you change the plugs on them. And issue number 2, when I flew outside in acro mode, I don't know if it was because of the rain, the wind, or whatever, but I did see some vibrations. If you saw the vibrations in the video, then I wasn't going crazy. Maybe I didn't see them, I don't know. That was about it, but my brain tuned them out and I could fly without the vibrations and still get a good flight. It was no problem there. Now, Emax has told me the price they're going to sell this for, and if you click on the links below this video, it will take you to that price. They say they're selling this, hoping to sell it for $259 US. Is that a good price? Yeah, it's not a bad price. You know, I did the best FPV ready-to-fly kits for under $300. I would definitely add this to my list of kits that would fit into that category. They say if you want to buy this, since it has brushless motors, if you just want to buy the drone by itself, it's ELRS and bind to it and have just this, it's $109 US. If you want to buy the batteries, I don't know how many batteries you get, but they're around $4 US. I don't know if that's per battery or for 2, not really sure. You'll have to check the links below and go check it out. And the last thing I want to say is this is one of the few kits on the market where you can take the goggles and pull the display directly out of it and attach that display to your controller so that when you're flying, you just look at it this way and you don't have to worry about the goggles, and then later on you buy other goggles. These goggles do, as I mentioned, you can pull them. If I pull it here, they do. See, you can focus them like that, pull them way out and push them all the way in, but it just doesn't work for my prescription. I think this might work for somebody with like a +1 prescription, then it would be perfectly in focus, but I'm like a +2 and it's not in focus. So with all that said, links to this product are below. Go check it out. If you have questions, post them below. I'll get back to you. But for now, I say thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, please give it a thumbs up and I'll catch you in a future video with a really cool review. Until then, I say bye.